You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay! Yeah! Yeah!
B to the R, O to the B, coming at you with the funny random rambling, talking about all the things that'll make that rain day sunny. Yeah, it's hot and popping, fireball dropping, come get your laugh on. Yeah, that's the concept, you know he be rocking, Rob got the facts and all of the gossip. It don't matter where you are or who you with, you got it tune right in. Bring your girl into your girl to bring your friends, be Robbie lit. Tune in your crib, in your whip, at your job. He got new shows every Sunday.
Here we go.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I am back with another edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I appreciate you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if anybody referred you to me, why don't you go ahead and lean over and give that person a crisp high five. I could make a coronavirus joke right there, but I'm not. But if you're not in that general vicinity, go ahead and take your social media app of choice and craft them a well thought out DM, not nothing nasty like, unless you into that type of thing. But in that DM, tell them thank you for recommending you to me. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Rambles with Rob on many platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram, The 3R Show, Facebook, facebook.com/3R Show, and YouTube. Look for 3R Show. And for anything that I may have missed, you can go to randomrob.com and find all the leftovers as I sit here with leftovers and foods on my lap. Joining me is another guest. Welcome into the halls of the, the Random University, as I will call it. First time saying this on air, so I mean, this is new to me too. He is the host and creator of Watching Comics, which you can find now on Amazon Prime Video. Also the host of the Fantasy Football Jibber Jabber. Also the creator and host of the Gutting the Sacred Cow podcast, which I need to get into the whole thing of that title just right there. But as plain as the hairs on your face, joining me is Kevin Gootee. How are you, sir?
Hello, sir. That intro sounded like Dave Chappelle, the way you spoke. His delivery style is just like that. So I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but that's pretty cool. I was like, oh, shit, this is a new Chappelle special dropped in the last hour that I missed? Damn. But,
I am flattered by that comment, sir. And Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite comedians. So, I mean, I subconsciously do that. I don't know if I'm doing it on purpose or not.
Yeah, it sounds good. Dave Chappelle's great. No arguments here.
Now, is that your stage name or Gootee is legit your name?
Gootee is legit my name.
Have you 23andMe that freaking ancestor.com?
My sister had that for her Christmas gift. She got that from my brother-in-law for Christmas. The biggest shock on there, guess who, by the way, I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed fella, just to give you an idea. Mm-hmm. Mostly German, no surprise. Mm-hmm. Northwest European. The biggest surprise, 5.7% Italian. Go figure.
What? You ain't got you didn't have any
Greek in there too, but the Italian part's what cracked me up.
You didn't have any West Virginian in there, did you?
No, I didn't marry my sister.
Sorry, B-Mac. I know everybody not like that in West Virginia, but you know, it happens. Or I don't do meth either. So I was going to knock out both those stereotypes. I mean, I don't think that's exclusive to West Virginia, but I mean,
no, of course not. I'm sure it's rampant there. These are broad generalizations I have no evidence on. I'm just doing it on gut reaction solely.
How do you feel about Florida, man?
I don't know. Florida, yeah. If you're outside of Miami or Tampa, I guess pretty much Miami, it's a white trash Venus flytrap, pretty much. My parents live in Naples. That doesn't fall part of that. That is for sure. But they live in Naples in the wintertime. There's snowbirds. But from what I've seen outside, which is very little, a lot of stories in the news you read, a lot of the, tweaked out garbage people going through drive-thrus while, whatever, doing dumb shit happens in Florida. So
mm-hmm. Yeah.
not a good area from what I've seen.
To speak of the name that I mentioned, BMAC, we got this thing on Twitter to where, or even just the internet in general, to where we see articles and whatnot, and we would tweet or share these articles with each other if they were based out of Florida. And, and that's kind of like our little game that we play.
Oh, that's funny. Corolla does a podcast. I'm sorry, he does a section on his podcast. It's called Germany or Florida, and he reads a news story, and they have to guess, did this story happen in Germany or Florida?
That sounds interesting. I'm going to have to pick that up.
It's pretty. I enjoy his podcast thoroughly, so it's a good segment.
Word. So you got your fingers in just about everything from the Amazon Prime show. I mean, you do comedy and you got podcasts falling out the wazoo. Seems like. Where did this all start for you, sir? Where did you fall into the trap of comedy?
I started, oh my God, as I look at the date, my comedy anniversary is in 8 days, and it will be 10 years for me in 8 days. Wow. Jesus Christ. It's been, so the long and the short is this. When you ask, I don't know how many comics you've ever had on your show.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. Yeah. And a lot of them is, a lot of the question, how did you get into it? And I'm sure a lot of people always were telling you, hey, funny guy in class, and just felt easy to crack people up. That's half of it for me. Then when I graduated college, I graduated with a film and TV degree, and my dad goes, this is great. Now go get a job and get the fuck out of the house. And I said, not making much money here doing this. He goes, well, it's time to get a real job then, and then get into film and TV. So I had to go into corporate America, which I still am, as a matter of fact, because comedy pays less than the kids who sell candy in the subways make more than most stand-up comedians, 98% of them. So I've been in corporate America, and I guess, God, now it's been 10 years since I thought about it. I was just saying how, to myself then, there's so much more to life than being in corporate America. There's so much more than just fighting to not, either get fired or just make your way up the ladder and just living your life for your work, which is something you don't give a shit about in the first place, is not the way to live.
Yeah.
So I started kicking ideas around, like, what should I do? What's the story here? And I said, what about comedy, man? I was kind of good at making people laugh. And when I thought I was going to give it a try, I said, fuck it, why not? I took 3 months in between. I think I made the decision December of 2009. And I just wrote material I thought, which was funny, but of course it was fucking terrible. Just rehearsed the shit out of it for 3 months. Went up to my first mic March 10th or 12th. I think it's 10th. March 10th, 2010. And have done it since, really. So that's how it all got started. And the funny thing is, when you start, you're like, oh, I'm just going to be a comic and that's it. Not knowing what else you can have fall into your lap in the sense of other avenues. So I've done comedy, and I literally fell into doing voiceover work too. I've done voiceover now for 5-6 years, only because people kept telling me, hey man, you ever consider voiceover? And I go, no. And dude, you got a great voice. Give it a shot. Go for it. So not only did I do, comedy, voiceover, creating a TV shows. I have several shows. Podcast. It's just, someone told me this in the beginning, the more tools you have in your bag, the more attractive you are for the industry. You just don't want to show up. What do you do? Comedy. Cool. What else?
That's it.
I can fart the national anthem. Cool. What else? No, that's it.
Can you
when you have all this, they're like, holy shit. People obviously want to make money off of you. And the more tools you have to make money for yourself, and of course others who rep you or get you in the network, you're more sexy to those people. So I said, I'm kind of good at I guess I'm all right in voiceover, comedy, all right. I got TV shows I think that are different. I know are different, and a podcast that I know is different. So
yeah,
let's just start there.
The name
and the long way around it. That's how I got around to doing all this shit.
Yeah, the name in itself for the one with you and Kevin Israel, the
Gutting the Sacred Cow.
Yeah. How do we even come to the, hey, we're gonna put this on paper, this is what it is, and this is what it's gonna be?
How did I get there? You've heard the saying, gut the sacred cow, I'm sure. Well, the podcast, it's for film. It's for everybody. But if you're a film person, you really appreciate this. Why? Because what we do is we're comics. We invite other comics or even actors on. We just had John Fugelsang on from Sirius XM. We're going to have Jude Angelini. We had him on. It's going to come up sometime late this week. And I mean, everyone's kicked back and talked about what films they love and hate, but we decided to do it differently, where you can have 85,000 podcasts right now which have, you know, film nerds on and talking about what they really like and what's great, or even what they hate. But here's the story where you ever be at a party and someone says something like, I love, you know, everyone's like, oh, you know, film's great, Pulp Fiction. And everyone loves Pulp Fiction, including me. And then there's that one dissenter out there who's like, Pulp Fiction fucking sucks. And then you look at them like they're retarded and you go, what, are you kidding me? What we do is we have comedians on who pick a film that has to have one of three criteria. One, financial success. Or two, a critically acclaimed, or three, widely beloved. They have to pick a film that's one of those three, and then they're going to come on our show and they are going to attempt to gut the sacred cow.
Got you.
So some of the films we've done, Pulp Fiction, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Gone with the Wind was our most recent episode, Wolf of Wall Street, Batman Begins, Twilight, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So films, again, widely successful, critically acclaimed, or just, you know, rampantly loved. And they have to come on and tell us why they suck. Now, you know, truth be told, sometimes we agree with them. Like, you know, something like, I hate Spaceballs.
What?
So the guy who came in and did it, Jeff Paul, he hates Spaceballs. But Kevin Israel, the co-host, loves Spaceballs. So that makes it for some good radio, good pod.
So, I mean, you come here and you try to pick these movies apart or whatever, and you just was saying that you had three people and two were opposed and one was with. So is it the job of the person that loves the movie to kind of debate the guys that are trying to tear it down?
No, so every comic who comes on our show, they pick the film. We don't pick shit.
Oh, okay.
They just have to pick one of the films that mean that. And then they come and they pitch their case. Now, sometimes, unbeknownst to them, I or Kevin, we may agree or disagree with them. Sometimes we agree with them. Flat out saying, like, yeah, this is an easy one. Like, this film fucking sucks, so let's have at it. Like, the last one was Gone with the Wind. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but boy, wow, awful. And or sometimes it's a great film that people want to take down. Bill Schultz did Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I think that's the best Indiana Jones film of them all. So he had a harder time trying to, you know, he had a real hard time trying to convince us, and no one's convinced us yet. Anyway, again, they've come and go, this film sucks. We're like, yep, we agree. You know, not because of you, but because the film sucks.
Word. So doing comedy for 10 years in 10 days, what do you think has been your biggest hurdle trying to grasp the concept of comedy?
The biggest hurdle, I'm going to give you two. One, there is no syllabus for this shit. There is no direction. I don't know what your day job is, whatever else you do, but if you want to get promoted, it's outlined for you how to get promoted, how to make more money, how to ascend the ladder.
Yeah.
Comedy, no. This is not a meritocracy. Sometimes it is, but right now, a lot of things that's going on is, you know, we can have 25 of the funniest straight white dudes, but guess what? Comedy Central is not looking for us. They're looking for, if you're a transgender lesbian from Pluto, you maybe have just started comedy tomorrow, you're going to get a Netflix special.
Okay.
So it's not, the meritocracy always isn't there. Sometimes it's what they're looking for. You know, young people, more diverse, young Asian lady, you know, versus me, you know, a white guy in his 40s. Let's say we're both equally as funny, she's going to get it before I am. Or if they change what they're looking for in the next night. again, that's it. It's not always meritocracy. That's why sports is the greatest ever, because the best team wins, right?
Yes.
In comedy, not always the case. Not always the case. And the second thing is with comedy, and every comic will probably tell you this, is finding their voice. You think you're doing the first few years, you don't. Like at least 6, 7, 8, really. You really start finding your voice, we call it, and finding your way and what's making you unique and different from everybody else. I mean, 8 million people have the same fucking take on airplane food, but hearing it in your voice and style and hopefully different jokes is what's going to differentiate you from the crowd.
Yeah.
And get noticed.
Now, see, that speaks to me, that point there, because I've been podcasting a little over 4 years now, and I can totally hear the difference from episode 1 to here now, 200 and some odd, whatever this is going to be. And that's what the whole year 1 was, maybe even a year and a half, was trying to figure out what my voice was. And, I often remind myself, because I go back and I listen to episode 1, often, just to listen how many times I said, how many times I said the word podcast in the podcast, and just is a dramatic change from then until now, because I'm comfortable doing this, and I feel like I can sit here and I can talk with anybody about anything, and it just doesn't faze me as it did, 2 and 3 years ago.
Right. It's funny you say that about the I listen to all my podcasts again. I just don't throw them up. I'll go back and cut, because what I'm trying to do is, first of all, I talk too fucking fast. Second of all, if I'm trying to fill space, if I'm trying to get my next thought out, I'll go, which after a bit, like, I've become now an expert on people with the speaking foibles and some things people just say all the time, which annoy the shit out of me. And I'm trying not to be that hypocrite. So I just go back and trim those. So what's our next point? Oh yeah, that's, I just trim all that shit out. So that way it's as flawless as possible. So someone can put in the iTunes comments, this motherfucker goes, all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a fault of mine, because I say motherfucker religiously. So I can't cut that out, because that's kind of the part of the thing. I got merchandise that say motherfucker across the chest. So
that's fucking funny. Motherfucking merchandise. You and Quentin Tarantino from Pulp Fiction with that's my bad motherfucker, the wallet.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I got a guy that I work with who has the same wallet, and he doesn't.
By the way, fun fact. When we did Pulp Fiction, my friend Lynette Palladino did it. She hates that film. That's my second favorite film of all time. We do a section in our podcast called 5 Fun Facts, and that one fun fact, when I pulled from that, the bad motherfucker wallet, that was actually Quentin Tarantino's wallet they used in that scene.
Word.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't either until my research.
Now, let's get on that, because that is something that is lacking in my arena here. Because I feel like, anytime we sit down and I have a conversation with somebody, this is organic. I mean, these are questions coming from a genuine curiosity of mine. And I kind of feel like that adds to the charm to it. But I haven't, well, at least I don't feel like it. Because, I mean, it's different from a listener's perspective than it is me being the host. I don't think it's taken away that I don't do so much research, because, I mean, I know who you are. And first of all, let me say, for however long I've been doing this and however long I've been having the little scheduling thing that you reached out to me through, you, sir, are the very first one to come at me and not even like make contact, just schedule an appointment. I'm just getting a notification like, who the fuck is this? I'm looking around like, did I talk to this guy? Did we trade some emails? I'm going through my email boxes. I'm like, who the fuck is Kevin Gootee? And I went on Instagram, and that's when I first reached out to you. I was like, yeah, I got you down for this day at this time. Yeah, that's me. Fuck. All right.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than not. And, I mean, since you agreed to do it a few weeks after the fact, you did your homework and go, this guy's got something to say, so he's not going to be some snoozer, shitty guest where I have to do all the legwork where,
what? Well,
it's going to be shitty podcast. So, but yeah, no, I just listen. If people want to have me on, that's great. I love I've definitely got a lot to say and opinions that are not milk toast. So, and I know I'm a great guest, and that's why I'm very confident saying, hey, fucking book me. You're not going to regret it. Here's why.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
And, you know, as a person that hosts a show and everything, you can speak to that. I mean, it's great when something just falls in your lap sometimes, much like this big ass burrito that I'm eating right now from the Cheesecake Factory.
You're doing a fantastic job of not eating on mic and making annoying chewing sounds that are audible to the listener, or at least I can hear. And that's a pet peeve of mine, is when you listen to a podcast and those fucking assholes are chomping down, especially crunchy stuff that drives me nuts.
Oh yeah, I'm pulling away from the microphone when I eat though.
I appreciate your consideration.
Yeah. Now, so comedy was the first approach. Now we branch out into the comics, watching comics. Now that's an interesting thing there. I got to watch a little bit of season 1 of what you had up there, and I kind of went from season 1, and I didn't watch none of the middle. I just kind of went to season 8 just to kind of, you know, gauge the change. And is it the same apartment or house?
Yeah, that's my place. That's my place.
It's the same one, because like I looked at season 1. And then I went to season 8 and I was like, all right, the bookshelf in the same place, the picture on the wall in the back is in the same spot.
The only difference is there are a lot more books in that bookshelf. That's for sure.
What you reading lately? Or is that just from the past, a bygone era?
No, I read a shitload. What did I just finish? I 2 hours ago, I was at my daughter's swim practice and I just finished one of Anthony Bourdain's books. Say second book I bought. The first one, his first book was really good. Is it No Reservations? No, Kitchen Confidential. That was the first one. That was good. This new one, I think, was called Medium Raw. Mm-hmm. Not that good. Not impressed. I mean, I go through it. My next book I have up is a biography on RFK and all that shit. And then I have a couple fiction ones coming in. So I'm all over the fucking place, man. I read a lot.
Okay, not to brush off watching comics, but you know, you got me interested.
No, not at all.
You got me interested now. You obviously like to read and whatnot, and we was talking about earlier how, you know, you just can't be a one-trick pony. Had it ever occurred to you to even write a book or a memoir or something?
Yep, absolutely. I already have my idea in mind. I don't want to give away the subject. I'll give away the subject, but I'm not going to give away the specificness of it, the specificity of it, because I don't want it stolen. It's a movie. It's a movie book, is what it is. It's okay. So the long and the short is this: I read a book over the summer. It said how 1999 was the best year for film. I disagree. I have my own year picked out, and a million reasons why. And I'm going to write all the films that made 1989. The best, I just fucking split that. Damn it! I spoiled it. Shit! What? 1989 is the best year for films, and I can give you 10 reasons off the bat why. Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Field of Dreams, Major League, I love that movie. Rain Man, those are 5. Lethal Weapon 2, yeah. Those are 6 films off the top of my head. I just vomited at you that are amazing. So it's gonna be a humorous take on with jokes in there about the films and why that year is the best year for film.
Word. So I think what you said. What was the original year? It was 98. They said
99 was the book that inspired me to think of this idea.
Okay, because 98, I believe, Blade came out, right?
Love Blade. By the way, first real black superhero film. Yes. Everyone going gaga over Black Panther. Good, not very good. Was it people were giving it 10 out of 10, 100 on Rotten Tomatoes? Bullshit. You mean to tell me Avengers, Infinity Wars or Endgame wasn't better than that? I call bullshit. But everyone, like I said, went nuts over Black Panther. Again, very good, but was not the first black superhero film. Blade was, and it was fucking glorious. Part 2, pretty good. Part 3, piece of shit.
Well, let's be clear. I think it was the first good black superhero, because I think we had Meteor Man before then.
Robert Townsend. I mean, ones that were taken seriously.
Okay. Because we had also, I think we had Steel in there with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh my God, Shazam was the recent one. Yeah.
So you're right. The ones that were taken seriously. Now, I love Blade. You know, it's one of my top all-time favorite movies. And you speak about Black Panther and everything. Wesley Snipes lobbied to play T'Challa in a Black Panther movie earlier on, and it didn't shake out pretty much. And then another fun fact that I like to throw out there, that think about this, we could have had LL Cool J as Blade, because that's who they pursued before Wesley Snipes. Let that marinate. Let it marinate.
Not a bad idea, but Wesley Snipes is a martial artist. There was no. That's a hands down better pick.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that either. I mean, thinking back on it now, how I didn't think he was that good, because Passenger 57, he showed a little skill in that, and then what really
always
brought it out,
bet on black.
Yeah, what really brought it out to me was a goddamn Demolition Man. I was like, whoa,
love Demolition Man, love Demolition Man.
See, man, me and you can go to the movies and split a popcorn together. I mean, we like some of the same shit.
That film was so good. That was 1990. I was in high school, 1993. That film blew me away because it was so poignant and so satirical with its future prognostications. The Schwarzenegger library and all the other shit that he had in there. So fun, action packed, tongue in cheek. I fucking love that film.
Yeah, and it also you talk about the Schwarzenegger presidential library and everything. It showed how good of a friend those two were, Schwarzenegger and Stallone, because you remember Arnold did Last Action Hero, and then
love that film too.
See, man, if I could fist bump you right now, I'd do it. Yeah,
that film got such shit, but again, same story, smart, well done, tongue in cheek. Self-deprecating of the action genre. Made fun of the cliches and colloquialisms. I fucking love Last Action Hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they went to the video store, they had Sylvester Stallone as the Terminator.
Terminator, oh yeah. He's walking with all the cameos and shit like that, and just, and he goes, "I'll be back, huh?" Didn't think I was going to say that, did you? And of course, you always say that. Are you kidding me?
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. You didn't think I was going to say that, right?
Yeah, oh my God, it's a great film.
Oh man, but back to Blade real quick. I credit Blade with a lot of the visual, Blade and The Matrix, those two films, because Blade came out first and The Matrix came out right after that. I credit those two movies as the emphasis, the genesis of the technology that we see now today, because Blade innovated a lot of that with the technology that they use for that film, and especially in part 2, because I believe they used that level of CG for the first time, to where they blended the animation with the actual actor, and then they would go on to use that in the second Matrix movie as well. So those two kind of played off of each other, and they kind of gave us a lot of the things that we have today based off of that franchise of movies.
I completely agree. Absolutely agree. And I think I put The Matrix in my top 10 for sure, maybe even 5 films. That film came out right I was about to graduate college. It came out like April of 99, if I remember. Mm-hmm. And that film, I go, well, there are probably like, I don't know, 15, 20 films that you can personally remember. You're like, you know what? That changed me. That changed me for the rest of my life. And that was one of them.
Blade was the first DVD I stole.
I bet Blockbuster Video would love to hear that now.
Oh, well, no, it was Suncoast Video.
Oh, my God. The place where that was like the Sam Gootee of DVDs, where they would just rake the fuck out of you on those prices, man. That's
why I stole them.
I know. Oh my God. It was just, you'd walk in and go, $28 for a VHS tape? Suck a dick.
Yeah. And that was the thing too, because like Suncoast Video was the first place that I ever saw a DVD player. And
oh wow.
Well, not a DVD player, a DVD. And because the very first DVD player I had was not like an actual, no shit DVD player, because them shits was like $500 to almost $1,000. My computer came with a DVD drive in it, so that was my first DVD player.
Wow.
So I went to Suncoast Video and I was looking at the wrestling VHS tapes. I think I was looking at one of the Stone Cold documentaries or something. And I looked over, I was like, DVD? What the fuck is a DVD? And I held the DVD in my hand and I held the VHS tape in my hand and I put them side by side. I was like, well, shit, I could steal 2 times more of these than I could these.
That's funny.
So
Blade was so great. 1, like I said, 1 was great. 2, pretty good. 3, complete abortion.
Yeah. 2, even 2, just the style of vampire they introduced in that film would, carry on through a lot of the newer vampire movies that you see now with the dislocating jaw and the little prehensile tongue whip thing or whatever. I hadn't seen anything like that before Blade.
Right.
So
agree. No, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love that movie. Anyway, watching comics. When did it hit you? You came up with this concept? Because what I feel, watching it, just the concept of it is you and your comedian friends or comedian associates sitting down, rating and critiquing, new comics and everything. So when did you have enough confidence in yourself as a comedian, a professional, to be like, oh yeah, I can judge all these other motherfuckers?
I still don't have that. I don't have the credit. Listen, anyone can sit there and have the opinion to do it. But if I were to do it by myself, they go, who the fuck are you? That's why I had people who had more tenure and more credits and more, a bit more clout. That's the word I'm looking for. And than just me. So that's why I surrounded myself with friends or, people who are in the business and whatnot. So how did it come to me? I was at an open mic one day. Open mics, by the way, are where you go to practice your material with other comics, usually at the back of a bar or a comedy club or wherever. And you give it practice, work on your shit. One day I was sitting there at a mic and it was just everyone there fucking sucked. I mean, probably including me. In fact, I'm willing to bet on that. Anyway, so I'm just texting back and forth with one of my comic friends, just, cracking on the comics, just cracking on the whole thing in general, the whole day itself. I said, this is funny, man. Just, you know what, though? We can't have a show where we just shit on comics. Why not just make it so we can give it, newish intermediate comics more of an avenue of exposure, and just kind of show, people, the general public, what it's like being a comic. And it's just not all that easy where you could say, let's say someone finds out you're a comedian at work and they'll go, what you should do? You should go on Jimmy Fallon. Like, motherfucker, what you should do? Like, you should go and be the president of the company. Oh, you just can't do that. It's not that easy. Exactly. So that way you see the process and how hard it is and how insane it is, and just get an idea. And then, of course, the best part, nothing funnier than hanging out with comics it's kind of like a fly in the wall thing, and getting us to see us talk shit and bust balls at a super high level, So that's how the idea came to be. Basically, it's Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Last Comic Standing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, you talk about you just had that analogy there to where you're like, if somebody found out at your work that you're a comedian, they would have all this shit to say. Nobody that I work with, except for like when I first got on my job, because like my podcast was fairly new, and I was just trying to get the word out there. So like in the beginning, when I first started working, I told like maybe a small, I would say less than 5 people that I had a podcast. And then years later, I've been with the company for a while. And
what do you do? What is your day job?
Oh, security. I do security for different buildings. And so I'm like, people be talking about like I had Michael Jai White on here one time, and somebody brought him up at work, and if it took all of me to be like, oh yeah, I talked to that guy, because I didn't want them to know what the fuck I did, because I didn't want all that shit like, oh man, this and this and this, and because I was listening to a podcast at work one time. And a guy walked in that I work with, and he had all kinds of shit to say. And I was just like, I'm glad I didn't tell you I got a podcast, because he's been all up my ass every day, all day about it. I mean, I can't deal with that at work.
I hear you. I agree. No, I didn't tell anybody what I do either. Apparently, people started Googling me for, I don't know, whatever reason, and the word got out. So my people do know I do comedy. I don't know if they know I did the shows and all that other shit, but That's that's how that got out. I sure as shit didn't announce that to them. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but I told my family or whatever, and that's also a weird thing to do. But I only did it because they were trying to plan something, and I had something already in the works before they even started the process, and it was going to fall around the time it was a convention that I got approved for. And, it would have been around the time that they wanted to plan this thing. And I was like, hey, I had this thing months ago planned, and I really don't want to drop it because it's a big opportunity for me. And they were like, what are you talking about? And then, my brothers and my older brothers and them get down on me like, hey, man, mama want to do this and this and this. I was like, hey, man, I had this plan like 4 months before y'all even thought about even doing whatever y'all talking about doing. And then I had to explain to them what I was doing and why and all this shit. And then I was just like, I wish I didn't have to do all this.
It's funny how it's like we're talking about this, like we're coming out of the closet gay or something like that, where it's a whole secret and you have to admit and kind of just show, hey, I'm Bruce Wayne, but I'm really Batman kind of thing, Yeah. It
is weird. I mean, it's like, I'm not ashamed of it, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. When I go home to see my family, it's just like I want to see my family and hang out and be normal and shit. I don't want them to be like the thing that kind of irked me. They'd be like, "Oh, you still doing your little radio thing?" I was like, my little radio thing. This is why I didn't want to tell you shit. I don't want you to talk about my craft like this.
Oh, I take it they're not supportive, or
they are. It's just the way they daggone. I don't know. It's just weird. I'd rather not talk about it when I'm at home. I'm there to see my mama and my father and just hang out and just do regular shit.
I got you. Yeah, I hear you. I've actually been very lucky with my family. My dad, you'd say, look, I tell you, you're just not good enough for baseball, so don't think you should be playing professionally. So I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. So he's always real. So it's like, man, you're good at this. You're good at comedy. You're good at all this other shit, and there's no one who can out-network you. No one. Mm-hmm. So that's fucking, that's good. And they've come to see me do shows, and they watch my comics and other shit. So they've been pretty cool with it. And they know enough not to keep asking. If I tell them something, then I go, oh, by the way, how did that go? And I'll just say, well, I didn't get the meeting I thought I was going to get, or they passed them the pitch, and that's it. They're not up my ass. So I really couldn't ask for a better support crew with my family or my wife or pretty much my friends even for that matter.
Word. Now, I was looking at season 1 of Comics Watching Comics, and I'm not good with names. So, guy on the far left. What was his name?
John Moses, redhead guy, right?
Yeah. Always wearing the cap and shit.
Yeah. Toronto. He's from Toronto, big Maple Leafs fan, hence the cap.
The Maple Leaf hat, yeah. How did you approach him to be on the show or whatever?
I knew him. Funny fucking story. My wife and I were on vacation once. More than once. We go every year to the Caribbean. One year we were in St. Lucia, ran into a guy who he played hockey, but he knew Moses growing up. He goes, oh my God, my friend's a comic in the city too, where you live. I'm in New York. And he goes, yeah, no shit. Yeah, what's his name? Oh, it's John Moses. I go, I know the name. He's like, dude, tell me you know me. And I texted John that, messaged him on Facebook, like, hey, I'm with your buddy Lando. He's like, oh shit, man, he's a buddy of mine. And we started getting to talking like that. And then after a while, became kind of really friendly. He did a couple shows. We produced a couple shows, comedy shows, my buddies and I. In the very beginning, my buddy Lawrence Deloach and Gabe Dorado and I, and he headlined and did stuff. He's a good dude, real good dude, and he's a ball buster, and he's fucking funny. So that's how I actually got to know him.
Word, because he seemed like the type, whatever. Because I was sitting there, because like I look at your guy that was sitting in the middle or whatever, and he talked eloquently about the comics, and he used the lingo that you would have a professional judge or critiquer there, and he's just like, yeah, that motherfucker suck.
See, that's the funny thing too, because inadvertently, I always, when I casted it, who am I fucking kidding? When I picked people to sit on the couch, I always had someone, I always had 3 roles. one was like the professorial, expertise role. One was just the ball buster, and one was just kind of middleman-ish, or, so Jimmy was great. Jimmy was a ball buster and a coach. John was a pure ball buster. Later on, if you would have watched any other seasons, I don't know. I think, and it's funny how you said before how you started with episode 1, and you can hear the difference between 1 and episode 200, whatever the fuck this is.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with that show. I had to rewatch all those again I had to make a teaser reel for some people who are interested in pitching this. And I was watching 1, and I was like, boy, this isn't as great as I remember some parts, So it was good, but I really know I started hitting season 3 for sure. But season 4, I think, gets in the stratosphere. That's where I hit my cruising altitude of season 4. Mm-hmm. And like by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, man, it's easy. I figured it out as a host. I know how hard I can push and where I can go and what we can say and whatnot. So it's just funny how you said that.
Word. I enjoyed it because, you need that dynamic. You can't just have everybody sitting there with their scorecards, holding up 10s or 8s and everything, just like light golf claps and shit. So, yeah, I thought it was good. But, like, to him, he stuck out to me because he was just like, suck, next.
Yeah, well, it's funny. He wakes up toward the end, but it's edited out of order because we started at 11:30, and he had late night spots before that, so he was kind of dragging ass. Mm-hmm. But then I think you see it later on, and Leah says something like, "Oh my God!" He finally wakes up, and goes, "Yeah, I'm alive. The coffee's kicked in," and then he gets super fucking mean, which is funny.
Yeah, and I can kind of see the change. Well, like I said, I only watched summer season 1 and summer season 8, so I can just see the progression. I didn't catch anything in between, but like. It was just all that stuff was like, was it recorded all at once or was it segmented or how did that?
So each season, so when I tape comics, it's 25. So it's 50 comics when I do a single when you see the comics, it's 2 tapings. So seasons 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Mm-hmm. It's 50 comics in seasons 1 and 2, 50 in seasons 3 and 4. So each season's 25 apiece. That's all in one day. So is the panel tapings another day, but that's all one day. So we bang through 25 comics. Do we watch all 5 minutes of each of the 25 comics? Fuck no. We maybe make it to a minute to 2 or even 3. If they're extremely great or extremely awful, that's the only times we make it through the entire way.
Mm. Yeah, and I can understand that because like we used to do that when I was an instructor. When I was in the military, I did my last couple of years. I was an instructor at my MOS school. That's the job that I was trained in. I went back to teach, and we would do curriculum review. So me as an instructor, I can go up on an evaluation board. I would teach a class in front of what we would call, I'm doing air quotes, master instructors. They're like the head gurus. They know the curriculum. They know how to teach. They have taught people how to teach classes. They're the head motherfuckers. So
right on.
For us,
we did that with our show in seasons 4 on. I did the master panelist, so I'm right with you on that. So
we had to go up and teach a class in front of them. And just kind of go through the steps, the bullet points and everything, because they give us a curriculum, they teach us how to teach the class, and they just want to see if we know it verbatim and if we can teach it the way we were taught. So there was a couple of instances in there to where you're just going through the whole thing. The goal mess is what we call it. And if they feel confident in you and you're doing real well, they won't make you teach the whole class. They're just like, all right, you're good to go. And they'll just sign off on you. You can go on about your business. But then there's some I've seen and I've been witness to where like they just let them sit there and twist in the wind. And it's just like, it's so cringy. And I'm just like, oh, why? Just put them out of his misery. Tell them to come back and practice and just do it later.
Oh, that's funny. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of those.
So did you ever have a public speaking issue Because I had one. I had it severely, like to where you can visibly see perspiration on my face, and damn, I would stutter and like I was having a stroke or some shit. You know, I was that bad to where like now it's just like I can get up there and bullshit about anything. Pretty much, I don't give a fuck.
Dude, did I have any public speaking issues? Yeah. Not really. It's been not really. I think comedy, if anything now, if I did, comedy fixed it real fucking fast. So whenever I have to go into a meeting of some type for work, in fact, my boss knows my story. She can just throw me up there and knows that I can go up there and talk my fucking ass off, you know? So not a problem here.
Word. So what do you consider a bomb? Like,
what do you mean by a bomb and what?
Like
that, you mean?
Yeah, a whiff, just bad, just
No confidence in the material, lack of punchlines or structure, or just being entertaining, for that matter. It's almost a perfect concoction of all those. So it's like what What's His Face said, the senator, about pornography. I'll know it when I see it. You'll know it when you see it. You can't miss a lot of. It's not hard to do. It's a combination of just lack of preparation, more importantly, lack of punchlines and anything that's entertaining, and not convinced in your material or yourself on stage.
Word. So what I seen in season 1, female, forget her name,
Leah.
Oh, no, not your panelist. It was one of your comedians that y'all were judging. Female, black girl. I forget her name. It was in season 1 though.
Chanel Ali. Does that name ring a bell?
Yes, her. She stuck out to me. And then the one guy that damn came up there with the headphone recorder. The tape.
In what, in season 8, you mean?
Oh, that was season 8. Yeah, season 8. Those two.
Daniel Aarons. Yeah, he burned himself on the caramel. Yeah.
So those two stick out to me. Did they do anything for you all or whatever? Did y'all have any comms with them after that? Because like I said, I kind of browsed through, but I didn't complete.
Leah, Chanel Ali's doing very well. She's good all over the country, getting up and headlining and such. Daniel Aarons, I don't know. I haven't seen much on him, but it depends. You know, my version of doing well and their version of doing well and your version of them doing well could be 3 different things. I think Chanel Ali's killing it. Like, she's on her way and will get noticed and will get some heat. Daniel Aarons, I don't know. I haven't seen him really since then. I've seen Chanel Ali perform, but not Daniel since that. So it's tough to say about him, but Chanel Ali is going to be somebody. You're going to know who she is in a few years or even less.
Word. So now, how y'all come about, and you already talked about the concept of the show, but giving them a platform, if you chose that they was like the best in their class and whatnot, how did y'all work that out with the venues?
I know a lot of the owners in the city since I do stand up, it's like you know who the club owners are, and you have to rent them out. You have to open up the club early on a Saturday. We start at 11 a.m. You got to do it when there's not going to be any shows, so you have to have them open it up, have someone there to open up, have someone serve drinks, blah blah blah. So that way, so you have to rent it out, but it's not hard to. And a lot of, if you're a comic, they're not, most of the time, they're not looking to take you for a ride, especially if you know who they are, you hang out in their club, you do work for them. They got to pay the people something to open up. So it's, most of the time they're pretty good on the price.
Okay. Cool beans. Now, so what's next, dude? Cause it seems like you piling on your plate, and you got, all kinds of irons in the fire, so to speak. What else are you trying to put on top of this mountain of food here as I still eat this big ass burrito.
Yeah, my aspirations are going to be fatter than that fucking burrito you're trying to shovel down your throat. I promise you. So what's next? I'm trying to get representation. That's what it comes down to. I have some for commercial work. I want an agent who's going to go out and shop my shows. I mean, I'm going out right now and really pitching these myself, just reaching out to people on LinkedIn and other places to try and get noticed and just get these things bought. Like, get people making these shows. Right now, I finance everything out of my own pocket. So people sit around and wait for someone to give them money to do shit. Those days are long gone.
Oh, yeah.
Long gone. You gotta go do it your fucking self. And right now, there's no better time to do it, especially with the iPhone and all the technological advances we have at our hands. So, doing a podcast 20 years ago is impossible. Now every fucking jerk off's doing one, including this jerk off, and you, the jerk, and you're another jerk off.
Yes,
who's doing a podcast, right?
Yeah, so
we
jerk off all the time.
Just go out and fucking doing it. I'm saying that. I'm kidding. We're not jerk. You and I are not jerk offs. Everybody else is a jerk off. No, I know. But just trying to fucking get all this done. And I even had a game show idea, a game show concept I want to do.
Ooh.
So I just want to get all these things. I want to get people. I want to get these shows sold. Like, this is the goal for me. Is like, and there's something else kind of going back to what I said before with stand up. Am I as in love with stand up as when I first started? No. Why? Because it's way more. You have to be out every night doing this, and I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. Now that I'm 10 years older, I've got a wife, I got a kid, I got a 4-year-old who's just awesome, and I love being around with her and watching her do shit. Like, these are the fun years. When she's 14, then she'll tell me to go fuck myself, and then it's game over, right? But now in the meantime, it's all fucking fun. So, and besides, I know my goal, I know my way in life is not through comedy. Again, I think that's more for the people who may not have many tools as I do in the bag, may or may not, I don't know. But I know my way is through hosting shows, creating shows, and just, being a funny, insightful, opinionated guy like I am, and getting enough people to follow me and support me and share the wealth, share my stuff, share my shit, and get it going. So, again, just getting these shows sold and being able to keep doing this and hosting my own shit. That's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, because I that's something that I would love to do, but more of a focus for me is I want to have the platform to the level to where if you hear, you made, or you on the right track. That's my mind frame in the thing or whatever. Like, for you to be here on my show, I would want my show to be at the level to where, like, they heard you here, and then now you starting to get that representation rolling toward your way, and people, they're trying to holler at you to get you, get you on the marquee and shit. That's where I want my platform to be one day. Yeah, no, I agree, and that's exactly what I want to do too. Is just get there. The problem, as you very well know too, again, there is no blueprint. There is no syllabus. Mm-hmm.
It's who's listening and who's sharing and who's the right person at the right times listening. And you know what? Let's give that motherfucker a shot. I like what I hear so far.
Yeah.
You've done 200 and some episodes. We've done 18. We just put up the 18th episode today. So it's just, we're still trying to figure it out. And we're trying to figure out, I've always been somebody who's always 3 steps ahead. And that's why I was with my co-host last week trying to figure out what are those 3 steps that we can start really planning for, So some things like advertisers we want to do, but we don't have the listenership where we need to even, throw a pitch packet together. I've got one guy who wants to advertise because he's a fan of mine and he wants to advertise his thing, and come in, kind of come in on a grassroots campaign kind of thing. Great. But other than that, we don't have enough listenership to go to these major admiral companies and go, yeah, man, we've got 500,000 downloads per episode. No, not even fucking close, or even 5,000 for that matter. So,
and honestly, I have a couple sponsors and everything, and it was through the thing that you said your father told you were good at, networking. I got a sponsor through knowing somebody else that has a podcast that eventually opened their own business. So I got one in that way, and then I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, I'm transparent with everybody because I'm not doing anything special. I'm just I typed the email and I asked somebody and they said yes. And you know,
bingo.
It's just luck sometimes, you know. I mean, people don't believe in that stuff, but like, if I wouldn't have wrote that email, it wouldn't have happened. So I mean, you got to put yourself out there sometimes.
I agree. And that's the thing too. I've been putting out for a long ass time, and just trying to figure out where to go, what to do, what not to do, all that stuff, you know. And it's like, what was the joke in the Naked Gun 33 1/3? Like a blind man in an orgy, I would have to feel my way around to figure it out, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, man. And I just I did my first year taxes as a business for this show. Yeah, I ain't getting that.
You making that money now?
No. It was not good at all. And you know, I talked to the person that did my taxes. Like, most first year businesses don't do well at all. Maybe even the second year don't do well at all. So I'm still in that not doing well at all phase.
So you're not making money. You're not in the black yet, then.
No, not yet. Well, I'm in the black because of my ethnic background.
Skin color?
Yes.
I figured as much, but no, no, I hear you, man.
It's a process.
At least you're getting somewhere, I think.
Yeah. I mean, majority of the thing was like, it makes sense to make this a business because I do shit for this that I pay for that I should be able to fucking write off.
Yeah, I went LLC not so long ago at the request of other people, especially my wife, to know that, hey, you know what, in case someone wants to fucking sue you for whatever reason, we're not going to get sued. So
yeah, that's another one too. Somebody hit me to that as well, and I was like, that's good to know.
Right?
Yeah, they sue the LLC, not you, the person.
Exactly.
So there you go.
We're figuring it out, though. Goddammit.
Yes. You're figuring it out. I'm figuring it out, and we're gonna figure it out together.
Yeah, I hope so, man. You feel like you're a good dude, so let's both get there and make it whatever making it your version is, and mine as well too.
Very well. If I make it, you as you know, and as everybody that's been on this show know, you have the opportunity to come back, and we'll get you to where you're trying to go.
Much appreciated. Yeah. Much appreciated.
So, on that note, let's go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you on social media. Cause I mean, you have plenty of avenues to find you.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. I do. Comics Watching Comics. You heard it here first. It is on Amazon Video, comicswatchingcomics.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on all those. And of course, let's talk Kevin Gootee, KevinGootee.com. You'll see my movie reviews there. NFL season, I do my picks, which also ties into fantasy football jibber jabber, which is where we do the fantasy football show with Gerard Herring and myself. We do that as well as we do NFL picks. 62% against the spread last year. Kick that. So follow me there. And like we just talked about for the last 20 minutes, the Gutting the Sacred Cow podcast. Give that a go. That's on iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. Jesus Christ, I don't even know how many other places, but definitely the big ones we're all on. Gutting the Sacred Cow, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Word. You know, I appreciate your time, and I would request that you do one thing for me. I need you to relay a message to your co-host, Kevin Israel.
I'm all ears.
Hey, motherfucker. When you gonna make your goddamn appointment to be on the goddamn show?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I put you on blast. I figure you busy. I knew you doing things and being funny and shit.
No, it's funny. We're also trying to go out and appear on podcasts just to get the word out. And we're actually doing one tomorrow, Tuesday night. Sorry, we're going to appear on one again. So I'd be more than happy to send him along to you to appear on the show. He's actually got a great story too. He was a comic. He is a comic.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a comic for 20 years. Motherfucker went to law school and was a lawyer and got out because he hated being a lawyer.
Yeah. I heard a bit and tidbit of it on a fellow podcaster of mine show. That's how I come to know of him. So when I was looking up you, I seen a picture of him and you gutting this sacred cow, and I was like, that's that motherfucker right there.
Who did you hear him on? Like what podcast?
It was the What Happens Next, Jay Sandlin.
Jay Sandlin was on our goddamn show.
See?
On Gutting the Sacred Cow. Yes, he was. He did Castaway. Great guest. He fucking did a great job with that. Yeah, Sandlin was awesome, man. We loved him. And I know that those two guys are definitely buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's when I first heard him. And he's like, yeah, we're going to do the thing. And then I ain't never heard back. And he's like, yeah, I got busy. I was like, I understand. And he's like, you ain't never got back. So I know you to know him, and he know Jay. So I know two motherfuckers that know this motherfucker. That motherfucker need to get his motherfucking ass over here.
I just texted you his and put it in the inbox for Instagram. His name, so that way you go hit him up, and he'll text me and go, who's this guy? I go, no, that's a good one. Don't worry. It's a good show, man. Don't worry. It's not gonna be some bullshit. I'm not gonna make you do some horse shit. But no, it was fun, man. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a blast. So it's been real. And listen, tag me where you need to. I'll gladly share it for you.
For sure. So I mean, I have to. It's a tradition. I think I said it already, but I got to say it again. You've been a guest once. The door is always open for you to come back to, promote your next big thing and what you got going on, or just to come shoot the shit.
I'm all ears. I'm all about that. I will definitely take you up on that, especially when we do especially when Jibber Jabber gets back on. I definitely would love to come back and talk some shit.
And that was my guest, Kevin Gootee. It's plain as the hair on your face. Yeah, I wish I could grow a goatee. I remember when I first got out of the military, that was like my primary objective. I wanted to daggone grow facial hair because for 16 years I was denied the privilege of having a lofty and luscious mane of hair on my face. And then I was compensating too because I can't grow it up top. So I was like, well, I know I can grow this bitch plush as hell on the bottom. But check out all of his shows, to include comics, watching comics, Gutting the Sacred Cow, which he co-hosts with Kevin Israel, who was a guest on the Delvin Cox show, which I asked this motherfucker to be on my show first, and they ain't never heard back from his ass, but that's another story. I'm not holding any grudges or judgments or anything, but it is what it is. And he had another sports fantasy show. I'm using the phone to record myself, so I can't look up this information to give it to you proper, but in the show description, you can look up his profile on either Twitter or Instagram, and it has all the links to all his projects and all the things that he's doing. So once again, I appreciate Kevin Gootee for giving me his time and being a guest on my show. Oh man, a lot of shit is going on. Everybody know about the coronavirus shit. I ain't even talking about that, but where has all the toilet paper gone? It almost reminded me of the damn what was that? Was that a country song? Where have all the cowboys gone? Is that a country song, or am I don't know. Anyway, but where has all the toilet paper gone? Where has all the freaking water gone? It's disappeared because everybody worried about the coronavirus. The only goddamn thing that I'm worried about is my plane ticket and my WrestleMania ticket still valid? Is they going to cancel it? As of now, as I record this and put it out to you all, March 14th, WrestleMania is still a go for April 5th in Tampa, Florida. And they just biding time. From what I have seen on the internet, I don't know this to be fact, but just things that I've glanced over. I haven't did any heavy research, that Florida and WWE got together. I think it was yesterday, the 13th, Friday, the 13th of all days, to decide if they were going to go ahead and continue with the WrestleMania festivities. So from what I've looked over and what the hullabaloo is about, that Florida, the governor or whoever, is leaving it into the hands of the chairman of WWE, one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So as of this recording, March 14th, WrestleMania is still a go. They changed some of their programming schedules as far as TV. Last night, SmackDown was held from their Performance Center down in Orlando, Florida, I believe it is. And it was to an audience of 0. So it was a weird aesthetic. I mean, the arena looked good for the presentation, but it was just weird seeing professional wrestling with nobody there to watch. And I'm pretty sure some of these guys that came from the independents are used to wrestling with 0 to nobody in these smaller venues and whatnot. So it might have been comforting and nostalgic for some of those, but it was just weird nonetheless in anything. And there's been some fuss online because I believe since, they didn't have a crowd to play to, that when they went to commercial breaks, they just didn't wrestle during the commercial breaks. I mean, they didn't put unnecessary stress on their body because there was no one there live and in person to entertain. It's okay. I can understand that. It's a television show amongst other things, So, I mean, I don't give a shit about that, and if WrestleMania is going on as planned, April 5th, save them. Yeah. Keep them away from injury. Let them rest up as best as they can. Don't put no more unnecessary stress if you do not have to. So there you go. It's a win-win. It ultimately is going to benefit us if we still get in the show and whatnot. So yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I think that's all I really got. I just be careful out there. Don't be touching your goddamn face after you done grabbed a foreign doorknob. Wash your hands vigorously. Use sanitizer if you have it. Yeah, just be careful. Stay inside if that's the thing that you want to do. I mean, the joke online is introverts are rejoicing at this glorious holiday right now, so enjoy your holiday, people. And yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm recording this right now. Oh, I know why I'm recording the audio. I'm talking about I got a video camera in front of me. I had something to say. Oh, I do recall the thing that I have to say. So March 29th, my birthday, we're doing the 4th annual Ask Miss B Rob. So what that is, for those of you who are unaware, Mrs. B Rob comes on the show once a year to celebrate my birthday by answering questions from you, the audience. So you can send her questions about any and everything. So you can ask about us. You can ask about her specifically. You can just ask whatever question that comes to your head and she will answer it live on that special edition of the Random Rams with Rob that we've dubbed Ask Miss B Rob. So what I am asking of you all, the listeners and the people who may be seeing this video right now, is to submit your questions. I might do something fancy and put it up here on the side of me or whatever, since there's a lot of space and opportunity over yonder. But there's many different ways that you can submit your questions for this special edition of the show. I think we're shooting for a day of the 25th of this month to try to get it locked down. We might be able to actually do it on my birthday. Yeah, do it on my birthday. Hit the sexy music. No, not right now. But because I had something planned that weekend, but with this whole coronavirus shit going on, a lot of things got moved around and whatnot. So we might be able to do it properly on my birthday. But if not, I'll keep you updated. But the 25th is what we're going to probably look at to do this episode. So have your questions in by the 25th of March. So we can answer your questions. Well, she can answer your questions. I'll be there in attendance, so I might answer some of them. But all the questions are from Mrs. B Rob. You can ask her favorite color. You can ask her why The back of Forrest Whitaker neck is black purple. I don't know. You can ask whatever it is you want. No question is off limits. And she'll answer it for you live here on the show. We might even try to do that live. I don't know if we're going to do a live video. Probably not. But live audio via Podbean or some shit like that. So that's even an extra added bonus for you. So yeah, giggity goo. Anyway, so submit those questions for the Ask Miss B Rob thing that we're going to have going on. I highly appreciate it for those who want to participate. And what else? What else? There's something else. Oh, also, speaking of my birthday, March 29th, your birthday gift to me for my birthday, and it's absolutely free. It won't cost you anything. The only thing that I want is to reach 100 Apple Podcast reviews by March 29th, my birthday. And right now, as we sit, I am 5 reviews away from my goal. I've been grinding trying to get this shit done, and I'm only 5 reviews away from my goal of 100 Apple Podcast reviews. So if you could, please go ahead and write that review. If you already wrote a review, borrow somebody else's phone and write a review from their phone and help your boy out. I'm only 5 reviews away from the goddamn goal. So that's your birthday gift to me. This free thing for me to have, pretty please. And I think that's it that I got for news and whatnot. I just did a recording with the Deets Wrestling Podcast, the Royal Navy's only pro wrestling podcast. So there's no probably on that if you're listening, homeboy, but it is. So check me out on that. That should be out the same day that this episode airs. And it was a fun time. I think we talked for about 3 or so hours. Some of it wasn't for the wrestling show proper. It was just general conversation while I was doing audio checks. So I suggested that portion, if he recorded it, be bonus materials and whatnot. I might even try to scalp that from him and play it on here. So check that out. Deets Wrestling, the Royal Navy's only pro wrestling podcast. So check it out. And I got a couple other things that you can just check me out on Twitter at 3R Show. And you can check me out on Instagram at the 3R Show. And you can find some video content on YouTube, on the 3R Show YouTube channel somewhere. And for everything that I can't think of right now and I may have missed, you can go to randomrob.com. And check out the sponsors, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. You can go to hooksrubsandspices.etsy.com and you can get 15% off your order by using promo code RANDOM. You can also go to poddex.com, and you can get 10% off your order if you use promo code RANDOM. Let's see. I did the episode deck last time I did one of these videos. I think I did one question from the interview deck already. So let's go do the interview deck 2nd edition. Let's see what we pulling out the box here. Pulling out the cards. I'm going to shuffle it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Almost dropped them. I didn't want to play 52 pickup, but I don't think it's 52 cards in here. Let's see. How many cards are here? Look on the back of the box. It's 50 cards. So I was only 2 off. Yeah, the interview deck contains 50 unique conversation starting questions to help you take your podcast interviews to the next level and keep your audience entertained. Boy, that's professional. And the question I have: would you rather go 30 days without your phone or your entire life without dessert? 30 days without your phone or the rest of your life without dessert. I'm lactose intolerant. But I do love a great dessert, cheesecake. I believe milkshakes and all that stuff fall under dessert. So whenever I, take my lactate medicines and all that stuff and I get the sweet tooth, I go 30 days without the phone. So that's what I'm going to do. And, that when you have questions like this, everybody immediately looking for loopholes and everything. It said, I can't have my cell phone. Didn't say I couldn't have my smartwatch. Didn't say I couldn't have my tablet, my iPad, which has a cellular thing in it. So yeah, I'll give up the phone for 30 days. So yeah, that's a question from the second edition interview deck here from Poddex. You can get you some, add these tools to your toolbox by using promo code random. You can get 10% off at poddex.com. And you know what that means. Check around for any random kids. But yeah, baby, it's time to talk about that one sponsor. You know what one sponsor I'm talking about. Yeah, Blue Chew, baby. Get what you need to get your wean. Indeed, or something, I don't know. But yeah, go to bluechew.com. You can get your first order free. Only pay $5 shipping. So you can get that Blue Chew in you. And you can get you in, I would say her, but it can work for whatever flavor you're craving. You know what I mean? If you like guys, if you're a guy, that's the thing. Blue Chew can help you out in that situation. Shit, y'all can have a double Blue Chew right there. And y'all can just be all over the goddamn place. I'm sorry about that. Okay. That went too far. But anyway, bluechew.com. You can get your first order free. Just pay $5 shipping and use promo code random to make that happen for you and whatnot. Blue Chew is the thing for you. So I think I've got all my plugs out of the way. I acknowledge the sponsors. Hey, if you can help with those last 5 reviews, if you can submit those questions. Oh God, the corona got me. Oh shit, knock on wood. And let's make that 4th annual Ask Miss B-Rob episode extra special with your random and outlandish questions. So send them my way and they'll be read, they'll be answered, and we'll be better for it all. With that being said, this is your boy B-Rob, and I'll see you next time.